Sometimes car accidents just happen. So if it happens to you, you want to get your vehicle repaired by the best, right? So don't let your insurance company choose who's going to repair the vehicle for you. You have a choice. Tell your insurance company that you want Deloach Body Works. They feature a team of professionals who specialize in collision repair, glass replacement, and frame repairs. They're the best. Plus, Deloach Body Works now has a full maintenance and repair shop as well. So whether you've got a busted head gasket, need new brakes, or your AC needs a recharge, Deloach Body Works has got you covered. For more information or a quote, visit Deloach Body Works at 410 North St. Augustine Road in Valdosta. Or pick up the phone and call them at 241-0804. Whether you need collision repair or maintenance, choose the best. Deloach Body Works, 229-241-0804.
He's on the 30. He's on the 20. He's on the 10. It's a touchdown!
Offense and defense. You have to play both. Making money is the offense. Touchdown, cheers, and reading about it in tomorrow's newspaper. Saving money is the defense. Grunts, bruises, getting clobbered, but having the discipline to hang in there no matter what. If you want to win, you have to play both ends of the field. Commercial Banking Company. Valdosta, Hahira, Moultrie, and Tifton, where excellence is standard. Member FDIC.
Do you have enough coverage? Don't wait to find out the insurance you purchased online or from an 800 number gave you a discount on the wrong coverage. Talk to your neighborhood independent auto owner's agent today about a policy that fits your needs and budget. Visit today and form a valued relationship that won't let you down in a time of need. For all your insurance needs, call Valdosta Insurance Services at 242-4560 or visit them online at valdostainsurance.com.
It's that time of year again. Friday night lights, raging fans, and not to mention tailgating. That's right. Football season is already in full swing. Only Options, the premier women's clothing store in Valdosta, has been styling Lowndes Viking fans since 1983. Only Options offers the latest in women's fashion, jewelry, and accessories in top brands like Lily Pulitzer, BCBG, and Trina Turk. We also carry gorgeous gowns for homecoming and prom from your favorite lines like Sherry Hill, La Femme, Elise Designs, and Tony Bowles. The best dressed in Valdosta always choose Only Options. Stop in today and let our fun staff help you prepare for the next big event. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for a behind-the-scenes look at our store.
R.L. Martin & Company is the men's fine clothing store inside of Only Options, and we are proud to sponsor the Lowndes High Vikings. This year's football announcers are dressed in R.L. Martin & Company clothing by Peter Millar. We exclusively carry the best brands in men's clothing such as Southern Tide, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, Peter Millar, Barber, and many more. We also do tuxedo fittings and rentals for weddings, prom, and any other formal event. We are located at 1421 Gornto Road in front of the Salty Snapper. Our employees at R.L. Martin & Company will be happy to help you get game day ready. Like us on Facebook and Instagram to be the first to know about new arrivals. And go Vikings!
Let's head back out to the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games for more of the Lowndes High Randy McPherson Coaches Show on the Viking Radio Network on 99.5 Kicks Country. And welcome back live to the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games right here live with the Randy McPherson Coaches Show. This segment brought to you by CVC Bank. CVC Bank with locations Valdosta, Hahira, Moultrie, and Tifton. Coach, we talked a little bit about the offense, the defense exclusively, about how they performed over the scrimmage. But some of the players, things that fans will want to keep an eye on, we talked about Michael Barrett and some others. Anybody else that maybe the company guys that we don't necessarily call their names every Friday night?
Tucker Barnes, ringleader up front on offense.
Right.
Highest GPA on the team.
That says something.
Got an offer from Dartmouth.
Wow.
I can't remember the other ones. He's visited all the Ivy League schools. West Georgia offered him as well. He's a leader up front. Real hard worker, smart. Very valuable player for us.
Yeah, and whenever you've got that offensive lineman that has those kind of smarts, they can overcome size and some things like that. But that's not there. But really being able to understand the game, I can't understand how valuable those guys really are.
You're right. He's not afraid to try to lead the offensive linemen or players on the offense for that matter. You know, he's got a way of doing that.
Well, I play, well, not play with, but his older brothers, Clay Shiver is a good example, came from Tifton, played at Florida State as a center, not very big, but he played 3 or 4 years with the Dallas Cowboys. The reason he did that is brains. That's really what kept him in the game. He was a little undersized, 6 foot, 6'1", but because of his smarts and his understanding of the game and what he did on that offensive line, he played and had a pretty good little career.
I remember when he was at FSU. I used to go watch him practice. I was down in Madison at the time.
Right.
What year was that, by the way?
He won the state championship in '93 as a sophomore, so he went through '95.
Okay.
So '93, '94, '95 is when he played.
I remember going to watch him practice and stuff.
Good center, but again, it was just not as big as a center would be today.
Right.
But very smart, and that's obviously when you got smart offensive linemen.
Yep. I'll tell you another kid, defensive lineman, Obby David, don't get his name called much. He's been around for 3 years.
Right.
Didn't get a lot of playing time last year. This is his time. You know, Elgin got a lot of playing time. Elgin Griffin at defensive line.
Right.
Holmes played all year last year.
Right.
Obby played a little bit, you know. Well, now it's Obby's turn. And he has worked, you know, in the weight room with his speed. And he's a guy for you to keep a look at. And another kid that don't hardly talk is Marcus Gary, the tight end.
Oh, okay. And, you know, we have not even thought about who the tight end is this year. So
Marcus Gary, he's a junior. He's about 5'11", 190.
Yeah.
Real fast, athletic kid. Not a big tight end. You know, when we go to our big sets with tight ends, we're gonna use probably our defensive guys mostly.
Right.
And a kid named Marquise Goodson.
Okay.
But he's an excellent spread tight end. You know, a guy that you don't necessarily attach to the line of scrimmage all the time, but playing close to the tackle, in the slot, and as the H-back, or what a lot of people call a sniffer now.
Okay, the sniffer.
Yeah. So that's Marcus Gary. Really great student, fast. He's going to make some plays this year.
Good deal. We'll keep an eye on him.
You talk about the other guys on offense now. Let's don't forget about the tight end, Gary, because he's
that's what really.
You're going to find out that he is athletic, he's fast, and he wants to win. I promise you.
What about anybody else offensively that maybe we always say offensive linemen, I mean, but they don't get their name called at all unless they fumble.
You know, Finley's a guy, started every game last year, Hunter Finley. And Finley's put some weight on. He does really good in school, too. Probably going to end up playing right guard.
Okay.
And looking for him to have a great year. You know, them offensive linemen, they don't hardly ever get recognized.
No,
they talk about it. The first thing you want to talk about is the backs and the wideouts and the quarterback and how far he can throw, and you know.
But we always
let's talk about how far somebody can block.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that offensive line. I saw a coach one time coaching a little league bunch of kids, and he said Mickey Mouse can run for a touchdown if he's got an offensive line.
You're right. You're right. Now, defensively, you know, you got Holmes up front.
Right.
You know, Fred Stewart.
Yeah, Fred.
Back in.
Right.
He's a junior. Had a really good year last year. I think he started every single game. Tymere Moore right next to him, same grade. You know, both of those guys are solid. You know, linebacker-wise, everybody knows Jeff Davis, you know.
Yeah.
He's the call guy. He's the guy that's going to get us lined up, call the defense. Tolbert don't talk. You know, he don't say anything. He just plays hard and wants to please. Big kid, probably pushing 6'4", 215 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Well, there's a kid 6'4" that used to play here. Only weighed about 218 pounds.
I'll tell you another couple kids on offense to keep an eye on. Back to offense is the two running backs. You know,
Yeah.
Tisdale and J.D. Lee, they should have good years.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing Tisdale, of course, with the ankle and not playing against Bainbridge. But that's going to be an interesting watch for our fans.
Yeah, he's the fastest guy in the field house.
And maybe the fastest guy in the state from some of the things we've heard. And now, he ran a documented in track 10-800 meter. Laser time.
In the region meet.
Wow. 10-8, that's hauling the mail.
Well, you know, especially for a ninth grader. You know,
Yeah.
You know, Greg Reed, you know, he might have cracked 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Most of his 100-meter times were 11 flat.
Right.
11-1, you know, 11-9 handheld that I remember.
Sure.
If he's listening, I hope I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no.
But so the guys that have broke 11 seconds as freshmen, I don't know if I've ever had one.
Yeah, that's just amazing. And I'm excited to see what he does. But J.D. Lee
played a lot last year.
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot thicker. Got him listed as 170. He's probably 175, little guy. Back over to defense, Tommy Owens.
Tommy Owens, okay.
Tommy Owens and his daddy showed up one day in the field house. And they were moving to Valdosta. Wanted to move to the county, wanted to come to Lowndes. Didn't know anything about him.
Right.
You know. And that kid has done nothing but work since he got here now. And he has turned out to be one of our more physical kids. He's playing, Coach Shores and them got him playing an outside linebacker spot. And he is real physical.
Now, one of the other things about this team, and I really think I've been doing this now 12 years, watching just groups of kids come through the program, is this maybe one of the most yes sir, no sir group of kids that we've seen in a while. I mean, they just seem to be very respectful, proud to be a Lowndes High Viking, but just great kids.
But they are, you know. I'll give you an example. I mean, we got some kids that need some work on, you know, on their manners. And,
well,
you know, we ain't
always do.
We ain't all perfect, and I'm not going to sit here and say that nobody's going to do anything stupid this year, you know, because I promise you, if you're a coach and you think you're going to have a team and nobody's ever going to do anything stupid, you're wrong.
Yeah, right.
It don't matter where you are, Alabama, I don't care. You know, you do your best to try to make them do right, and you know, give them some consequences when they mess up. But I'll give you an example. We had a picture day. We had a picture set up, and we decided to take a picture of every player on the varsity JV that had an 85 GPA or better, and there were more than 55 kids in the picture.
Wow.
That's pretty strong.
That it really is. I mean, the dumb jock is not what it used to. I mean, these guys are really they're in the classroom. You provide and make sure that they've got tutoring when they need it. And I know you're pretty, I would say lenient, but understanding of when they need to go to study hall or something.
You know what I think one of the things that we did that made the biggest difference is we have a failure list that comes out during progress reports.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody on a team that's got an F is on a sheet, you know.
And you don't want to be on that sheet.
Well, I put it up in the locker room where everybody can see it.
Wow.
And I make a big deal out of it. And as soon as they get that F up to passing, I erase it. I get it off of there. And in the weight room with all of our measurements, you know, our power clean, our bench, you know, 40-yard dash, all that stuff, the first column is GPA. So when I started putting those GPAs along with the weights and the squats and all that, everything started to change. You know, the kids they want to compete. They don't want to be the last place on the GPA.
No.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Yeah,
because it's right up there with the rest of it.
Well, Coach, you know, we've talked about the players. We've talked about Bainbridge. We're going to take our final break of the night. We come back, and the big elephant in the room is Valdosta. It's Wintersville. And to start the season against your arch rival, we'll talk a little bit about that when we come back. We're going to take our final break of the night. You're listening to the Lowndes High Viking Radio Network, live from the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games. We'll be right back after this message. Football season has begun, but in South Georgia the heat lingers. So don't neglect your air conditioner. Call Page Heating and Air at 563-9051 for the best service around. Owner John Michael Page has years of experience in service and installation for all makes and models of AC units. Page Heating and Air also provides 24-hour emergency service at no extra charge. So when you feel the heat rising, call Page Heating and Air at 563-9051 or online at pageheatingair.com. TheVikingVoice.com, your source for Lowndes High athletics. TheVikingVoice.com is your online source for game stats, rosters, and schedules for Lowndes High football, as well as other Lowndes High sports. TheVikingVoice.com is also your exclusive home for the Viking Broadcast Network of online streaming for Lowndes High basketball and baseball. So, for all your Viking sports information, visit TheVikingVoice.com. After 40 years in business in the city of Valdosta and the surrounding counties, Harris Surveying and Engineering is now Prime Consulting Solutions. We provide professional land surveying, land planning, and timberland management services. Do you own timberland and need assistance with management so that your investments work for you? A forest is a valuable investment and needs to be properly and professionally managed in order to achieve the highest rate of return for your goals. Prime Consulting Solution provides top-of-the-line forestry consulting services. Timberland management is a very complex process, and we're trained through education, testing, and experience. Most people look at wooded tract of timberland and see woods, but a professional forester sees a complex ecosystem that provides raw materials, clean air, clean water, and other valuable benefits. Give Rodney a call today to see how Prime Consulting Solutions can help you with your timberland needs. We provide residential and commercial land planning and surveying as well. Our number is 229-244-9735, 244-9735. Prime Consulting Solutions. We're here for you.
Whether you're farming or doing construction work, equipment downtime costs money. And that's why folks in this area depend on Equipment Parts Supply to keep that equipment running properly. Now, they've got complete engines, parts, undercarriage parts, even attachments and implements, too. Equipment Parts Supply of Valdosta has engine kits, hydraulic pumps, and cylinder heads, too. Equipment Parts Supply, 2320 Highway 84 West Valdosta. Phone them at 229-244-0016.
Goo Car Wash is Valdosta's premier car wash facility. Located at 1510 Norman Drive, Goo is a state-of-the-art facility that will clean and pamper your car. Goo has a great selection of washes available, including the Express Wash, the Goo Special, the Works, America's Best, the Ultimate, and finally the Full-Service Wash. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., where they offer free vacuum every day. Goo Car Wash on Norman Drive in Valdosta. Let's head back out to the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games for more of the Lowndes High Randy McPherson Coaches Show on the Viking Radio Network on 99.5 Kicks Country.
Welcome back live to the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games right here in Remerton Square on Bay Tree Road, where we do the Lowndes High Randy McPherson Coaches Show live every Tuesday night throughout the season. Remind everybody here, we're going to have a drawing at the end of the game. We've got our end of the show tonight. We've got a free meal here from the mill. We've got a free T-shirt from Spirit Embroidery, as well as a helmet, car window helmet. So when you go out of town, you can stick that on the side of your car. Show your support for the Lowndes High Vikings. I want to thank all of our sponsors and folks like here at the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games. Coach, like we talked about before break, it's time early this year to talk about the Valdosta Wildcats.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what kind of went into the process of understanding, hey, we're going to have to make this game the first game of the season?
Well, I think we both started working on schedules.
Right.
You know, neither one of us has a whole lot of luck finding good schedules.
Sure.
You know? So the first thing you wanted to do is get your region schedule set, which was only three games for us. We met them at the end of the season. That's what they did.
They got four games.
They got four. And then, you know, I really think what happened was they knew we were going to play. We knew we were going to play.
Right.
Well, let's go get the rest of them. you know,
so exactly.
So we can have a schedule. And,
right.
And with Coach Gillespie was here, and you know, didn't really talk early on about when we're going to play. We're really interested in the rest of those games because we got to find 7 games. And there's not a whole lot of people, schools our size around here that are fired up about playing either us or Valdosta. So,
well, I always thought Game 7 for us, Game 6 or 7, with Ware's already into their region. Finding that game probably, I would have thought, would have been the hardest one to fit in that slot at number 7 because most everybody else is already playing region by that point.
That's because nobody wanted to play Ware. Okay.
Where's a good football team?
It's not hard to figure out. Nobody wants to mess with them. So, we got Ware. Ware was one of the last ones I had knocked down.
Right.
Had locked down. Valdosta was full that day. It just kind of fell into, people. People talk about anything. It wouldn't matter when that game was. If the game's close to region play, what are you doing? Why you got it close to region? Well, you got to play the game when you can play the game, and it doesn't matter when you play this game, what time of year. It's going to be a full house.
Sure.
They're going to be trying to whip us. We're going to be trying to whip them. There's people going to scream after every play. It don't matter when you play it, and I think it's going to be fantastic. What's the difference what the date of the game is?
Yeah, and I'm kind of looking forward to it being the first game of the season. I guess I'm on the outside. A lot of fans say, oh, it ought to be later. But I look at Florida State playing a Miami. First game of the season. They've done it more than once.
Well, it's not like that because in college every game counts.
Oh, sure, yeah. But this game counts, but it doesn't. I know what you mean.
It counts, but it's. Let's don't forget that it is
not a region this time.
No longer a region game.
Yep.
And the loser of this game, whoever it is, could still win the region, play at home in the playoffs.
Exactly right. Well, Coach, Valdosta comes in, a new head coach. Coach Tucker Pruitt has gone over to the offensive side. They brought in new defense. You're expecting more of the same, or what are you looking at when you're looking at film for Valdosta?
We got 3/4 of a film.
Right.
K-Row. They look similar to what Coach Pruitt did last year.
Right.
Defensively, I haven't seen anything really brand new, from on that 3/4, But we don't know what they held back, and they don't know what we held back. So,
well, that's always the chess match of a football game.
So, anybody could win this game. It's always been that way. Highly competitive, highly spirited, always a lot of sportsmanship.
It really is.
I mean, never had a problem with sportsmanship. Nobody wants to do nothing like that out there in front of all them people, and let the folks down. So it's always been a clean ball game. There's been some great games, man.
They have been.
This will be 15 for me.
Wow.
There's been some great ball games. Win, lose, or win or lose.
Right.
Great games.
Well, it's a great time for the community to come together. Both bands on the field to open up the game. Things like that, and it's just a great night. We honor both players on both sides. It's a great American rivalry again. I talked to Terry Chauncey the other day. That one kind of snuck up on them. Yeah. They were expecting it in October.
Right.
Well, Coach, what's kind of the plan for the players? Of course, that's just a quick little bus ride across town, but what's your Friday afternoon going to look like heading into that game?
It's almost like a home game where we'll eat after school, walk through meetings, lay down, watch a little movie. They have the option to watch a movie or go to sleep, but we're all together. We'll wake up, get dressed and taped, and head across town.
So you go kind of commando. Everybody's dressed and ready to go.
Yeah. We're ready to go.
Well, Coach, obviously it is always that rivalry matchup. Players that probably played with a lot of these guys growing up in different ways. They might have been on the same boys club team. Is that something you talk to your players about and say, hey, look, you remember him, you played with him before, but he's not necessarily your enemy, but he's across the line from you tonight. How do you motivate, or not motivate, but how do you get the players ready to go and face a lot of their really good friends?
Well, the thing about this rivalry here is that makes it so much more intense and so much more just outright pure effort,
right,
from the kids. If I could figure out, and I'm sure that the coach over there would agree with me too. All of them that have been there,
right.
if you can figure out how to make a kid play as hard against Valdosta High and make him play that hard for the rest of the year, I could sell it, and I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, I'm telling you that you wouldn't lose a game if you did that, because you're right. There's something about that game, the added effort. There's a will to win on both sides.
Well, you got to wake up and live with them.
That's true.
You know, you got to go back to church. You got to go to Waffle House with them. And the game comes up every time you see them.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and if you win it, you get to brag for a year. If you lose it, you kind of have to take the lickings, if you will, for the year and say, we'll get at it next year. But it is a fun game. As you said, it's your 15th one. Is there any game like it, I mean, that you've seen at the high school level?
No, not that I've been a part of, not even really close. We had a great rivalry with Live Oak when I was at Madison, but we didn't live in Live Oak.
Yeah. You could leave town, I guess.
Yeah.
And there really aren't, when you start looking around some towns like that, I guess Florida, maybe some of the Miami schools, I don't know. I mean, they're far enough away. I would imagine Alabama's got some very similar matchups that they get kind of excited. Always a big school. But this is the Great American Rivalry. It's just one of those things that, for the first time in a while, it's not televised as well. So it's all about just pride in this ball game. Coach, we're wrapping up tonight's broadcast. I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to have our drawings here in just a few minutes. And Friday night, I heard today there were maybe 100 tickets left from the allotment that was sent to Lowndes. So I would think if there are any tickets available, you need to get at the ticket office and get them picked up.
Yeah, I don't know much about tickets. I know I got my wife one, so I'm in good shape.
Well, I get my wife one too, and people say, "Why are you waiting in line?" Well, I got to get my wife a ticket, so we go ahead and do that. But it's going to be a fun night, Friday night. Great way to start the season.
Yes, sir.
Well, good luck Friday night. Good luck throughout the season. We'll be doing this live every Tuesday night, right in the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games. Thank you for joining us, Coach. We'll look for you again next Tuesday night, maybe to talk about a great Lowndes High victory.
Okay, Bill. Thank you.
All right. You've been listening to the Lowndes High Randy McPherson Coaches Show. We are live from the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games, and it's been our pleasure to bring you tonight's show. Be sure and join us again next Tuesday night as we'll talk about the matchup against the Valdosta Wildcats and get you set for the next game against the Bayside Bears. I mean, we're already moving on, March game. Thank you again for joining us. And if you haven't had a chance, get out here, see the show live. We have a drawing at the end of the night. We've got 2 or 3 good prizes. We've got another one that I think we'll have for next week as well. And it's just a great time to get to meet kids. Enjoy yourself here at the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks for joining us here on the Viking Radio Network. Until next week, for Marty Rogers, Taylor Biddle, I'm Bill Osborne. Good night, Lowndes County. We'll see you next Tuesday night live from the Mill Pizza Buffet and Games.